Back for game number 3. Lin Gaoyuan has to be feeling, well, quite rough right now. Has to leave the past behind. Start game 3 with a fresh mind. Some clear thoughts here on the receive. 10-7 for Lin Gaoyuan. He was leading 7-2 and 10-7. Fan Zhendong managed to come back. Very free backhand from Lin Gaoyuan, as if he had no memory of the last game. It's probably for the best in terms of his performance. And he tries to match the hose. The vocalizing from Fan Zhendong. When Lin Gaoyuan was just a little bit younger, a few years back, he was very vocal on the table. Sometimes against teammates you see it less. Sometimes you see it just as much or even more. It's not a personal thing, just a question of bringing your strongest fight. No question, both players are quite pumped and poised to take this match and compete for the cup against Germany's Timo Boll. Good placement on the counter, middle of the table. Lin Gaoyuan maybe had his weight going a little bit more to the backhand corner. We'll see it one more time here. Frozen up, but yeah, you could see the right leg tense. Starting to turn. Hoping for that opportunity to get the forehand in. Smart placement. Lin Gaoyuan has time as it comes off the table. Plays it more centrally instead of to the deep backhand corner. Creates a more uncomfortable shot for Fan Zhendong. So as we come into the first towel break, Lin Gaoyuan leading 4-2. I think to myself, I often think like a coach. I try to think, what would it take to shut down the opponent for both sides? It's fun to do that as a fan, especially if you're not watching with the sense of, I really hope this player wins. And for Lin Gaoyuan, I remember back to Kunuk Ja and how he really slowed down the ball, played soft and spinny, and how much trouble it was for Lin Gaoyuan. With the pace and the placement here, inside out forehand to the deep corner. Fan Zhendong getting low once again. Obviously, Fan Zhendong wants to be in the lead the rest of the match at every opportunity. But if you're down 2-7 and you're down 7-10 and you can still come back, it's quite encouraging. But a backhand like that coming at you reminds you that it's no joke, that it's not going to be easy. Recovery off the net here. Ball sits up a little bit in a very free backhand for Lin Gaoyuan. Has the height. That's a mile high at this level of play. The lower camera angle lets you see. Even just a few centimeters above the net, depending on where it is, how far back you are, can be the difference. Lin Gaoyuan was world ranked number 3 recently. He's currently world ranked number 5. With a little more time and experience on the world tour, I think most of the world expect him to be battling Fan Zhendong for world number 1. At least in the next few years. Perfect serve, gets the hesitation. Fan Zhendong with that length. A little bit on the shorter side, despite the fact that it comes off the table. Looks like it might not, so Lin Gaoyuan passively plays the push, and the third ball's waiting there for Fan Zhendong. Still has to come in over the table, though. Lin Gaoyuan touching it as softly as possible, trying to shut down the third ball attack. Solid first forehand. Pressure kept on by Fan Zhendong. Trailing by 1. Now this was interesting for me. Very similar placement for Lin Gaoyuan on that opening forehand. Just a little bit more room, and he decides, I have to spin this. You can see the double pump there of hesitation, trying to find the positioning to make a quality opening. Keeps Fan Zhendong a little bit behind the table in the aggressive play. A little bit more security and safety with Fan Zhendong back there. A lot of time between serves here, especially in the multi-ball system. We tend to see warnings for so much time between serves. Yesterday, Lee Sang-soo got a warning and then a yellow card. So back up by 2, Lin Gaoyuan. If you can take the 2-1 lead, it'll be very easy to forget about game number 2. I think as a professional athlete, it seems that he already has. Outstanding play, corner to corner. Sees that Fan Zhendong has no problem playing leapfrog. The forehand, 2 from under the table, the backhand from under the table, and then finally stops Fan Zhendong in his tracks with a shot right into the body. Says, forget about the wings. I'm going to hold you still for a moment. Try standing still. Tough to do after all that movement. Especially if you're thinking, if you're prepared to move or expecting it somewhere else. That's the key ingredient, surprise. Fan Zhendong gets low and gets even wider on the next shot. Inside out forehand to make it 7-9. The way Fan Zhendong is able to lean and still keep track of where the table is and the trajectory on the ball is unbelievable. Receive gets away. Seemed like he changed his mind. He was going for a flick. Maybe decided he wanted to try and drop it short. Touch shot. Nope, goes for the flick. Just slows it down a little bit. Not quite the confidence. I think he didn't have the space to tuck the racket the way he wanted to get all that wrist action in. So Fan Zhendong, very close. He saved a few game points last time around. He's got 2 here against him. Lin Gaoyuan 10-8. Couldn't capture from 10-7, nor 10-8, of course, last game. Parallel backhand on the run. Fan Zhendong saves 1 game point, has 1 more to go. Looks like he wants a timeout but doesn't want to spend it, like he wishes he had 2. 1 for now and 1 for later. What placement. Fan Zhendong recovers the fast long serve into the backhand. And then from the backhand side of the court, punches one, steps around to hit a high arcing shot right into the crossover point, sends Lin Gaoyuan to the ground. As low as Lin Gaoyuan leans, still not able to capture his 2nd game point in this game. Credit to Fan Zhendong for pinning him down, despite a very strong start to the point from Lin Gaoyuan. Heavy underspin on the pendulum serve, but the placement is a surprise. Sends Lin Gaoyuan back in his tracks. Back to that backhand corner, and Fan Zhendong with 3 points in a row has earned himself a game point. Solid counter here from Lin Gaoyuan on the backhand side. It can be quite intimidating when Fan Zhendong gets this shot right here. Lin Gaoyuan directing it into the body, but a slightly softer shot with less preparation from Fan Zhendong on the backhand side. Second deuce points, 11 points apiece. Every game so far has been extra points. It's been deuce. Fan Zhendong, what did he do for this inside-out forehand? This was a Timo Boll-like shot. Look at how much side spin is on that. Lin Gaoyuan hangs low to stay in there and counter back, but the second one looked like Ding Ning in 2015 on that ankle. Seems to be intact. Everything seems to be fine, but man, did he have to bend low. Game point to Fan Zhendong once again. Oh, deep to the corner. Almost sounded like it caught the edge. If at all, it was faint, but Lin Gaoyuan saves the point. Fourth towel break. Third deuce point. There's a lot of nerve involved in this tournament. Winning on your debut appearance is incredibly rare. This year there were 5 players on debut at the World Cup, and none of them reached the semifinal. Another game point to Fan Zhendong. The last player actually to win on debut was Timo Boll in 2002. That was in China. So you can imagine quite difficult against all the home crowd advantage. Third game point for Fan Zhendong. Oh, this one gets away. Again, the camera angle doesn't tell the whole story. If we see that one from down low, it's probably in very close to the net. Oh, no, that's a 99 out of 100 for Fan Zhendong. It's up a little bit. It's deeper on the table. Seems to handle the fact that he missed it pretty well. I think a lot of people be jumping and stomping their feet, turning in frustration. Fourth deuce point. Soft Chiquita deep to the backhand side. Now this is good for Fan Zhendong. Again, we know he's got full power. But here, uses spin and placement. Giving some variety on 2 different levels. Game point once again for Fan Zhendong. Fourth one. And the power. Fan Zhendong earns the shot from behind the table. 15-13, manages to take game number 3. He goes up 2-1. And Lin Gaoyuan in some